All throughout Star Trek, we have heard famous one-liners, all the way from Engage by Captain Picard to There's Coffee in That Nebula by Captain Janeway. Today, no exception. We've heard this one-liner time and time again by Captain Commander William T. Riker, or one of the famous captains. Shields up. We've all heard it. But today, feel free to join me as we go boldly and take the long road from getting there to here and engage in a discussion of shields. Hello everybody, welcome to the discussion. Today, we're going to be talking about ship shields, in space obviously. So here we are in game, and we're going to talk about the 4 shield types. I am not going to go into all the different mods that give you different stats and stuff like that. That is probably going to be a completely separate upgrade video. But so far we'll discuss the different types of shields and what they do, the differences between the shields, and we will discuss a little bit about the Vanity Shields. Not to confuse yourselves with those with normal shields. They don't do what you think they would do. Let's go ahead and discuss the first shield type, and that is your standard shield array. Now these are your basic shields. The stats on them are pretty basic. Okay, you get the standard capacity, your standard regeneration rate, and they're pretty, like I said, they're pretty standard thing. It's all balanced, stats are balanced, everything like that. Probably the more famous, more commonly known basic shield array comes from the Task Force Omega reputation. That is the Omega Shield Array. This is your standard shield array. As you can see, the stats there has a very nice regen rate and has a very nice capacity rate. Everything else is basically your basic stat. I will also mention that going into shields, the shield discussion, a lot of people will also tell you that shields are kind of useless in the game, and for the most part, they are right. When you're going against certain enemies, certain bad guys, the Borg, don't provoke the Borg. Certain bad guys, shields are pretty useless. They take them away pretty quickly. So let's go ahead into the next shield type, because there's not much to really go on with the shield array, other than it is your basic shield array. Moving on to the covariant, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. One of the more commonly used shield types, shields of this particular type, is going to be your Tilly's Review Pending Modified Shield Array. This is coming from the Discovery Legends bundle, or reputation. Has a very nice head bonus. It has now the covariant shield type has a much higher capacity rate. However, they drop down the regen rate, give you that extra capacity. So there is that balancing act there. As you can see, the stats here for your Mark 13 Ultra Rare, it has a cap of +4 for the modifiers. So it increases the capacity of the shields, but your regen rate is lower. But there are other stats involved in this particular set that help boost that up. So the next one we're going to talk about is going to go back into the Task Force Omega one, because there is one in there. Okay, as soon as I can find it here. There's a covariant in here too, actually. The adapted Mako. Very nice shield. It was it's kind of outdated at the moment, but it is a very nice shield. But we're going to go talk about the regenerative shield array. Is the next one on our list. Now, this one is kind of the opposite of the covariant, whereas the capacity is lower, however, the regen rate is higher. So it all kind of depends on what you're looking for, but the simulated regenerative shield array out of the Task Force Omega reputation is probably one of the most well-known ones in there. It's the older rep, so it's commonly known. As you can see at the stats there, the regenerate is a little higher than the covariant, but the capacity is lower. Okay, so it all kind of depends on what you're looking for in your shields. If you want a higher capacity, you want to go with the covariant. If you want a higher regen rate, regen rates are usually better for your tanking. Not that the shield capacity is a bad thing for tanking, but it all depends on what you're wanting to use. Obviously, set bonuses will also be the determining factor, but that is a different video altogether. Okay, so the last particular shield type we want to talk about, of course, is the Resilient. And this one is a little tricky for me because I can't remember which one is the one I wanted to talk about. But the Resilient Shield Array, there we go. Here is the one for the Mako set. And there is the stats for that. Now, for the Resilience one is for the most part, your capacity and your shield regen rate are about your basic level. They're about the same as the standard shield array. The resistances, however, and various other things are usually increased. Okay? It reduces your damage by certain damage types, etc., depending on what your odds are. Here is the Mark 13 Mako Resilient Shield Array. You can see the capacity and the regen rate are fairly decent. With all energy types of shields by 10% hit by directed energy attacks are reduced. So it does reduce your, like I said, it increases your resilience to different damage types. So it's very important to figure that out. Now, the other type of shield we're going to go into, and I just want to make sure I have one on me, is the Vanity Shield. Without going into too much detail, the Vanity Shield is pretty much there for the visual looks. It does not have any type of section for your ship. I was going to grab the Alliance Vanity Shield out of the store, because I have my other ones in my bank, and I don't feel like beaming down just yet to go ahead and get that done. So we got the Alliance Vanity Shield. As you can see, there is no stats on that Vanity Shield. It is just for visual effect. Okay, so please, folks, don't take your Vanity Shield and try and put it in this slot. It will not work. Okay? Now, on the other side of the coin, there are some shields that have visual effects that you can apply to your visual tray. So we'll show you the visual of the Vanity Shield here. As you can see, it changes the color of the look of the ship, gives you a more platinum, more sleek, white and black style to the Saber class here. But as I said, there are shields in the game that do the same effect that are actually shields. Go ahead and take that off. For example, the Tilly's Review Pending Modified Shield does have a visual effect on it as well. We'll have to upgrade. No, I have to. The difference is you can actually enable the visuals from the shield slot. You don't have to put them in the visual slot. However, if you choose to, you can. Now, for this particular shield, it's not much of a difference, but you do see it does make the metal on the ship look a little bit aged. Probably the more popular shields out there that do this. I personally like the assimilated shield myself, mostly because it makes your ship look like an assimilated ship, and it is much cheaper than the Borg Vanity Shield. So those are your options. And that is basically it for the shield types. There are only really 4, well, like I said, 5 with the Vanity Shield, but that is basically going to be your basic run through the shields. So depending on what you're looking for in a set bonus, there you have it. You have your basic knowledge of shields now. Hopefully that will help you decide what you want to do with your build, what you want to do with your ship. As I said, there are some enemies in the game where shields are pretty much useless. Like the Borg has said, they will strip your shields right away. Now, I know the devs are going by certain recent Starship traits that have come out with lockbox ships and such. And then it was one reason why I'm not going into the traits for shields, guys, is because most of them are from lockbox ships, and I don't want you guys spending money that you don't want to spend. I don't want to go into that discussion. That's the whole bag of cats that we don't need to open right now. So, where was I going with this? I think the devs are trying to give shields some kind of love, some care, some tenderness. Hopefully, shield tanking will become a thing in the near future. But time will tell. So guys, I hope that helps you. I hope that aids you in your journey to enjoy the game of Star Trek Online. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know how we're doing. If you just as much want to tell me to go to heck, feel free to do that too. Thank you for joining me. Hope this helps you. I hope find your way in Star Trek Online. Thank you for joining me.
Okay, bye.